A very good morning to our viewers all across the world. Welcome to your Poetic Interlude on the Weekend Show. My name is Emeka Uzurumba. Today I have with me, live from Oklahoma in the US, a guest poet, Mr. James Coburn. Mr. James, good morning.
To you.
Okay,
Grateful to be here.
Good morning, Mr. James. Mr. James,
good morning.
Yeah,
nice
I can hear you. Yeah, could you?
Okay.
You're going to read to me from your. You're going to read to me from some of your poems today. So could you read your poems for me today, Mr. James?
Okay. The first poem is called Autumn Sets.
Okay.
I'll begin.
Okay.
In the paleness of my den, ere I fix to light, muted on bricks and dusty curtains, a window faces upward bound. Yet nothing in its recess but a cold absence. Skeletal leaves left broken from summer. She left me. So I turn away to nothing but stairs leading to a bent door. From some foundation swing, leaving it jammed, never to open again. Trunks with papers, a 1920s bottle of wine suspended in time. Her scent lingers. Trapped am I, without a word spoken for my reprieve from darkness where I sleep. So I claw and hammer vibrations across an acreage of grass. No one to hear, only wind makes pass. I cannot touch. Only the living turn to rust. She is my last memory of dust.
Okay.
And the next poem, would you like me to begin? It's called Enslaved.
You could begin.
Okay, thank you. 1619, oppression. The first Africans forced to leave British colonial Point Comfort, Virginia. The sun scorches, but there is no degradation of skin by the sun. Only men degrade skin, hunting for pigment possession as they degrade themselves. Ships cross the Atlantic, but not all hands are on deck. They are chained below. Children weep for their parents. No one hears. The slave master uses a whip, but cannot tame who is born free. Field hands build the country. But the economy, propped up by slavery, is a nail in a wooden coffin, a bullet chasing feet on the run. Bullets of fear rooted in slavery, trigger, linger. The civil rights movement did not end in the 1960s, not in the new millennium. It comes back to your face. How did you learn? Your experience is the brushstroke of when you color the canvas for your own convenience. Experience crosses centuries. Listen. Freedom moves. Oppression. I hear whispers today. Oppression. I see the hypocrisy of governments. Oppression. You are draped by indifference. Ignorance with splintered wings. Torn from limbs, how it simmers.
Okay, Mr. James, those were so lovely poems. You were talking about slavery. So, and you were born in the 1960s. That was when the civil rights movement was at its peak, because Martin Luther King was given a Nobel Prize in 1968 before he died. But I want to ask a question. What motivated you to write that poem, Enslaved?
Well, as far as human rights, I was a child of desegregation in the early 1960s. I was born in 1955. But the 1960s, I was in school when waves of white flight swept families to the suburbs in Oklahoma City to go to different schools. And I learned that bigotry is based on lies, because racism is a learned behavior. As a young boy, I was told that Martin Luther King was a troublemaker, that white children are more intelligent than black children. Well, I saw that wasn't the case when schools were desegregated and I had black classmates.
Okay, so
you know, that's
I feel so touched by this because for years, many blacks have this instillment in their brains that whites are superior to them. So I also want to ask you about your book, The Metaphors of the Rainbow, because you collaborated with a Zimbabwean poet. So can you tell me some of the inspirations that made you write your book, Metaphors of the Rainbow?
Well, you know, basically it's for the same reasons. You know, blacks, you know, I was told as a boy that, you know, that blacks were inferior and they didn't have the same IQ, but I had, when I was 14, I had someone, an adult, say that to me, and I said to him, well, I think those tests probably have cultural biases in them, and he didn't say anything after that. But anyway, this is a book by myself and Mabizo Chirasa of Zimbabwe. It's called Metaphors of the Rainbow, and I wrote this in 2021. It's available on Amazon, and you can order it. You can do a search under my name and Metaphors of the Rainbow, and you'll find it. But if you're interested, I'd also like to encourage poets to continue developing your talent, your freedom of expression by tuning into your inner voice. You know, you might surprise yourself. So
okay.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to talk to you today.
Okay, so I want to just tell you, I want to say something. Can you mentor Nigerian writers, young writers, writers who want to explore the world, who also want to be like you, who have been drained, who have been, you know, miscalculated at some point in their lives? Can you mentor them and tell them how they could reach for their ambitions and actually become good writers also?
Well, for one thing, you never want to give up, because there have been great poets in the past who have come from very humble beginnings, and you know, you don't have to be wealthy to be intelligent to write. You can become educated and develop your talent, and I think you'll be surprised how your style comes about, and you'll learn a lot about yourself too. And you know, poems are like memories to me. They become like memories, and a poem can be your friend in life, and you can read your poems, you know, when you're facing, you know, challenges in life. So it can help you very much, and you can meet other people and converse with them. You know, I wouldn't be here if it were not for poetry and networking myself in that regard.
Thank you so much, Mr. James. You know, in the US right now, it's about 3 a.m., so you tried so much for staying this awake.
It's 3:08.
Yeah. So I just want to thank you so much for coming on the program and honoring the weekend show by appearing. So thank you so much, Mr. James Coburn.
Well, you're very welcome. Glad to be here.
All right.
Have a good day.
Okay, good day. My lovely audience all across the world, I hope you have enjoyed watching your Poetic Interlude on the Weekend Show. I've just been talking to Mr. James Coburn with his book, Metaphors of the Rainbow. Go out there and grab your copies. And I want to shout out to my lovely producer, Andy Madeki, Didi, my friends on the Weekend Show, I Adams, I Should Be, MC Sam. As much as I can remember, my director, Idayat, everybody on board. Please don't go anywhere and stay tuned, because we have more coming up for you on the Weekend Show.